Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. A non-profit organization called Modern Community Foundation will host the I Am Me conference to address challenges faced by the LGBTQIAP+ community. They aim to address the advancement of transformation efforts, and this will be on the 27th of October in Johannesburg. The foundation's co-founder and managing director, Revel Harris, joins us for a discussion. Very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Good afternoon, Paul. Thank you for having me.
This is really an interesting, angle to take. A conference being put underway to address the day-to-day challenges, which are many, and many of them go unreported. October is Pride Month. I suppose there is some significance to this.
There definitely is some significance to this because October, as we all know, June is International Pride Month, and that's with the movement that happened within New York, back in the day. And October is an African Pride Month because the 13th of October, 1990, was the first Pride to be hosted within South Africa. And for me, it carried so much weight and fueled me to want to do more. For my previous job, where I was a flight attendant for 15 years, traveled the world, I've seen Africa, and it made me realize that you are so blessed and grateful to have a voice in this country and to be able to speak. So that was my thought of coming together and bringing my voice to South Africa and fighting harder for my community.
I suppose it speaks to the theme, I am me. I am me, accept me as I am.
Accept me as I am. This is me, this is who I am. Before you see my queerness or my disability, this is who I am. I am me. So the I Am Me conference is based on that, based on transformation, diversity, and inclusion within the workplace, as well as within communities within South Africa.
So what's going to be on the agenda? Because you speak about the day-to-day challenges that, often go unreported, and so many intricate elements within the community that really need to be ironed out, addressed, and perhaps an educational.
It's true. Paul, within inclusion, there's still exclusion. And this is what we're trying to fight within the LGBT community, with corporates, with private sector, with government to come together and to do more for the LGBT community. I think a whole lot more can be done, and the progress thus far has been significantly good, but I think more corporates can come on board and do more.
Okay. Of course, I have in studio there the co-founder and managing director of Modern Community Foundation, Revel Harris, speaking, of course, about a conference that's set to get underway to find solutions for their daily problems within the community, speaking about the concept and the birth of the I Am Me and being the title for the conference. I mean, you listened and heard Revel speaking about the importance of really an affirmation, a powerful affirmation, Revel, I am me. And perhaps let's talk about how role players can change the environment and some of the very important topics you're hoping that all the people that come and attend the conference will walk away with some empowerment and some knowledge.
Yeah, some empowerment, some knowledge, and also some hope that we're trying to instill, into people, especially within communities. We're inviting corporates to the IME conference, which is happening on the 26th of October, not the 27th. And we're inviting different communities to also come together and to come listen what corporate has to say and where they can see potentially employment opportunities for themselves if they're unemployed, or what the transformation, diversity and inclusion sector looks like within different corporate sectors.
So perhaps let's talk about some of these day-to-day challenges that you're hoping to also come to the forefront and the experiences. I mean, there are so many categories looking at the different versions of I Am Me. And a lot of it goes without the educational. So that in itself leading to so many social misconceptions.
So that in itself, this is why when we, as a foundation, we are doing diversity and inclusion workshops for corporates, to also shine a light onto the LGBT community within corporate, to let corporate understand if a transgender person or a transgender individual shows up to work tomorrow, do not discriminate, but rather get the training, get the necessary skills to also understand how to learn and to work with this person as well.
And how can the public help? I mean, how can ordinary day-to-day members of society also become a part of understanding and interacting.
I would call it allyship.
Yeah.
I would call it allyship, and I think this is where the public should come together. The more allies we create, the safer we create a community for the LGBT community, not just within our own space, but within the heterosexual community as well. Because we then know that we have certain allies we can depend on and always count on to always stand with us in every challenge that may come our way.
What are some of the myths that you're hoping to dispel?
Some of the myths we're hoping to dispel is stop judging. Stop looking at the person's outer appearance before they step into a corporate space or any space in any community. First understand who the person is, what the person can bring, how educated or what knowledge they may have that they've collected over the years, to understand that the person you're seeing is not the person that you're thinking in your head. Because now you are judging this person based on what the outer appearance is. But I am me is more than my outer appearance. It's what I have within myself.
Where's corporate South Africa failing when it comes to that understanding and that depth? Because, skilled candidate coming in to do the job, but there are barriers.
Definitely a lack of training within transformation, diversity and inclusion in corporate, right? That is needed for corporates to understand how to do better, how to do more. Because if I walk into an organization tomorrow and I'm a transgender individual, I should not be judged for anything, even if it should say that on my CV, even if it should say that on anywhere of my social media platforms. I should be judged based on the person that I am and who I'm representing today in that interview.
So you speak about corporate. Who are you hoping to empower as this conference is underway and some of these conversations and topics are broadened?
So definitely corporates, hoping to empower corporates to do better, to come on board, to do more, to understand that Pride Month, or South African Pride Month, is not just in October. International Pride Month is not just in June. We face different challenges, different fights on a daily basis as the LGBT community. So for corporates to come and do more, not just on those months, but every other month and every other week, where people are knocking on your doors, looking for funding, looking for sponsorship, looking for ways to come and work together with corporates. Don't turn us away. Rather work with us so we can make your life and our lives better.
Absolutely. Fascinating chat. And of course, maybe let's talk a little bit about how NGOs like Modern Community Foundation are helping to improve the lives of beneficiaries.
So we have just started a program with an agricultural program in Musina, and it includes the people from the LGBT community, vulnerable women, and the youth. And we started a 12-month program for them to create sustainability, to create change within rural communities as well, as there's a lot of prejudice and a lot of judgment that side. But if we can empower a young person, a young queer person, to own your own business, to know what it is to run your own business, to stand up for yourself, to know that you can provide for others and not just make a change for you, for your family, but for the ones around you as well. So from a agricultural sector, that is what we've done as a foundation, and we wish that corporate would open up to more NGOs and NPOs like ourselves to work with us to create sustainable opportunities for all youngsters, especially the queer community.
You speak about a lot of judgment, a lot of judging within the queer community. But, on a day-to-day, it's quite hard to get people to not be judgmental. What efforts are you making to empower the individual?
So this is part, the IME conference is part of empowering the individual from a queer community who struggles to find their voice, who struggles to speak up. We've also created a safe space sector, which people from the queer community can come up, share their stories, which they probably would have never shared with anybody else, but they can come up, share their stories, knowing it's a safe space, knowing they can share whatever they've been through in their lives, and we can try and assist from there, try and support you all the way forward from there.
Very well. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in
to
chat to us. That was Revel Harris, co-founder and managing director of Modern Community Foundation and an activist of the LGBTQIA+ community.